some students ask me that if, let's say, they want to go into business or medicine or paramedics or nursing, for example, or engineering or any other walks of life, they come back to me and say, how can I tailor what I've learned to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Sometimes I say, if you can learn what is haram in this business and stay away from it, and the fact that you do that, then your work becomes an act of worship. Is that correct advice? Or what can you say about that? How can people use, for example, what advice do you have for people who have chosen those areas? When you say, let's say, for example, business, what advice would you give a Muslim who is gone and graduated from business and wants to work into business, for example? How would you apply the Quran in his life or her life?
So it is incumbent upon any person who's going into a set or a specific field that he study what Islam has brought down of guidance concerning that field. So if a person wants to go into that field of business, it is wajib, incumbent upon him to study the chapter of business and transaction and trade that is in Islam and found in the books of fiqh. Wajib. Just like if a person is single all his life, he doesn't have to study the jurisprudence of marriage. The day he intends to marry and he pursues that path and he marries, it is wajib, obligatory upon that person to learn the jurisprudence of marriage and what Allah Azza wa Jalla wants from us. A lot of these problems that we find among the youth in their field and in their work, and they come and they complain, and I don't know, and this halal, this haram. You should have studied this already. This is your field. You should study it. That's the idea. Look, when we reach the age of puberty, it's wajib upon us that we establish 5 daily prayers. How can you do that if you do not study how to pray the 5 daily prayers? So when something becomes obligatory upon you, you have to study the laws and the rules and the regulations concerning this matter. So the advice here for these young boys and sisters of ours, may Allah Azza wa Jalla protect them and bless them all in their businesses and their fields. But if you're pursuing that path, it is absolutely incumbent upon you to put the brakes up and say, I need to learn what Islam has to say. You know, for every knowledge, there are the compulsory matters to learn, and then there's the supplementary matters. You need to learn the basics. You need to learn what is a halal transaction. For in transaction, we say that everything is permissible, and there are things that are impermissible. You need to learn what's impermissible. That's it. It's one course, 3-4 hours, and you've got the knowledge that you need for that course, and for that field, and for that work line that you want to work in.